Very good. Again, welcome to our first, meeting, marketing meeting in the new room here. What do we call it? City Hall? Is it called City Hall?
It is.
Yes. And thank you for coming here. We're looking forward to it. I'm glad that we do have a quorum at this point. And the first one to introduce, I don't know, or joining us in the meeting is Lynn. Possibly you could introduce her a little bit. Roberta, tell us a little bit about Lynn, what you be doing.
Lynn very graciously agreed to be on the board of the country club, and she is going to take over as chair of the marketing committee. So I'm here to ensure we have a quorum. And Lynn will be here from now on, so this is her initiation, so be nice, because you want her to come back.
Where are you going?
I'm not going anywhere, I'm still at the club.
But I mean, you're not gonna be on the board,
Well,
you're not here.
No,
She's
not,
just
I'm not on this
realigned.
committee, I'm
Another
still
committee.
over membership, which is part of marketing and all of that, so I still be, but not a voting member.
Gotcha.
So,
Okay.
and so we're gonna ask that, Lynn's name be placed on the city council.
Okay, well, I'll put that as the next
Agenda, yeah, on the
To
next
approve,
agenda.
approve, yeah.
Very good.
You gotta spend, give us a check.
Okay.
That's me.
I did read your
Well, it's probably not my article, it's somebody that works for it, yeah.
Right.
Well, I love it. Welcome, Lynn. I love the initiation, getting involved early. That's wonderful. Very good precedent. Okay, let's get right into the agenda. First item on the agenda is approval of the April 27th meeting minutes. Do I hear a motion here for approved minutes?
Move that you approve the minutes.
Is there a second?
I second.
All in favor? Aye. Aye. Okay, motion approved. Very good. This is the marketing update, Doug.
I've got two glasses, oh well. Great to be back up here again in this beautiful City Hall, whatever you wanna call it, building. So is that somebody coming? Like somebody?
No,
Got somebody else, okay. Mainly I'm gonna talk about, what we did last month and a few other things we got going on and show you. I sent everybody, and I'll have to get your email. So if you don't mind, just sending me your email through
absolutely.
there sometimes, so I ag you, and I can go back and send you a couple things. Because what I try to do is send a marketing report the day before to everybody. So what I'm gonna basically do today is, hi, how are you? Good. And tell you a little bit about what we did. I know I've talked to quite a few of you and certainly sent some thank you notes and everything. But the gentleman we had, again, thought the visit to Sky Valley was just top notch. And as Roberta said here a little while ago, I think everybody invited everybody who wanted to come back. And so we've already had one of them come back, Mike May, who actually works with me, is the Florida and Indiana guy, and great guy. And he was taking some time off, and so he had talked to Roberta, and so he came up and did all kinds of stuff up here. You were telling me we hiked and he stayed down at the Diller House. We've got a good rapport with Louise down there. And so when we left y'all that Friday morning, we went and had breakfast. I took them all to breakfast at the Diller House. Mainly because what our relationship was, and we'd already written about them. And so in the past, we have not just talked about Sky Valley, we want people to come to, the area. So, okay, what is there to do the area? Okay, well, here's a great place to eat. And so that's what we've done. We've had barbecue stuff, we've had just eating places, we've had attractions, we've had, oh, by the way, when you're here at the Diller House, go to Sky Valley, or if you're at Sky Valley, go to the Diller House. So She sees the value in what we're doing, and so Mike stayed down with her and his girlfriend stayed down with her this week. But everybody loved it, had a fantastic time. As I said, we've got quite a few things that are just starting to come out through them, and this will be a ongoing type thing, and I'll kind of go over these with you again. But seriously, I mean, we went to, or they went to Stone Mountain and Helen and Brasstown and here, and they definitely picked here. And I don't know if it's because of y'all, we certainly were very, you know, hospitable to all of them, and just, it's a different environment up here than other places, certainly, you can understand that. So they just had a really, really good time. And they bragging on the golf course with the only 7 holes that they played.
Such bad weather.
Yeah, it was just
Yeah.
weird because it wasn't showing up on radar and whatever, but just had a great time. They had a great time back down at the country club that night, and certainly got to talk to all y'all, a lot of y'all in person. So that was, I mean, I could just go on and on and on. They were very, very pleased with our trip up here. All right, some of the things that we've already started to see that we've done, and Mike May helps me with a lot of the writing. And so we use a lot of the same articles in different publications, which just makes it easier. And these guys are gonna, and other people will put in stuff about what we're doing. If they just have something, if they don't have to write it or whatever, you have it, just send it to them. So Indiana Golf Journal, which Mike is the editor of, he put it in, so you can go back and look at the link there, and I think the pages as well. 3 pages, very nice article that Mike wrote. So Indiana Golf Journal. So, and then Joey out of Mobile, Southern Fairways Radio and Magazine, and just got a very nice article in there. Indiana goes to about 90,000 people. Okay, and that's both online and in print. Joey's probably closer, and I forgot it, if I wrote that in something else. I think they're probably closer to 100,000, and they go all over Indiana's all over the Midwest, and I should probably slow down and tell you a little bit about that. Midwest, we get a lot of people from the Midwest come to Georgia or want to go to Florida, things like that. So our whole avenue over the years is okay, how do we slow these people down? So we're going to see Mickey. Whoa, slow down. We want you to stop here in Georgia for a few days or on the way back or whatever. So Midwest, we're starting to get a lot of people. We get a lot of people from Canada that come right through the Midwest and in New England and that area. So it doesn't just have to be from North Carolina or Tennessee or places like that. So over the years, we're just trying to show them what Georgia has available. So Indiana hits a lot of the Midwest, and we have another relationship with, which is a kind of a family, Ohio Golf Journal, Michigan Golf Journal. They all hit different people. Okay, so they have different databases, which is great. But it's kind of a family affair, so it's very easy to do. So so Joey does Southern Fairways. Like I said, they have a radio show. It's on every week. And I think Jamie was on there before, I believe. And I've been on there a couple of times. And then they have a quarterly magazine, so which is print and online. And he probably does about 100 and something thousand, but it goes all over the West, Southeast. Okay, Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, Panhandle. They're expanding more into Tennessee, and they would like to get into Georgia and different things like that. So that's the reason when we took all these guys and figured out who we wanted to bring here, we certainly didn't cross over to too many people. So very pleased with who, we got to come and where they're gonna continue to broadcast from. So Joey's been a good media partner over the last year, new. And so we're excited about that. So, Ohio, Golf Journals, I just mentioned, kind of the same thing. Fred and his wife, and grandson, and I know it's not that big a deal for, but Fred's wife just passed away about a month ago.
Sorry.
Yeah, just kind of unexpectedly, and it was very nice. First time I got to meet her when they were here. So it took him, you know, just like anybody would, it took him a little bit, but he's back to going and strong, and Mike helps him do some stuff, and he's, you know, seems back to be doing okay, as good as he can be. But we got the same article in Ohio, and going out to different people. And Fred, we did a podcast from the PGA Tour that I sent y'all back in, we did in January, so it's probably February when I sent y'all the podcast. Actually just looked at it again yesterday. It was on Brian Weiss's golf trips, which I'll talk about in a second. So they do a lot of different things in terms of getting the word out, and does a great job. Fred's very well known in the golf market. Joe out of Philly does Tri-State Golf, and new guy, had known him but never worked with him. So we certainly get a lot of people come down from his area off I-95, which is, you know, a gateway to come into the South, and certainly from New England and Mid-Atlantic. So he's real excited. So we had a little mix up on the link, and so I'll get that back out to you. So the magazine's out, and I've seen it. You can go on the website and see the article. But the link, we tried to get it fixed, and it was not his doing, and so he's working on it. So, and then I'll finish up with Brian. Brian is getting some stuff up on his golftrips.com. Brian is probably it's not probably. Brian is the biggest of the four in terms of what he does. Brian owns and operates golftrips.com. I know I've told y'all some of this, but so this is where we get our inquiries from. If we have people who want to come to Sky Valley area or Savannah or wherever. So we work with him, and you can go there and you can see the Georgia Golf Trail. And I went through his stuff. He's got a ton of stuff now on the Georgia Golf Trail and what we can do here in Georgia. Certainly y'all are included. And so Brian's working on a few things for Sky Valley, even though he got to come and had lunch and take the tour, and y'all met him that morning. Excuse me. So he's going to be doing some more stuff on golftrips.com, but you can actually go and see it type stuff there. So here's the deal with the four of them. As I mentioned, this is not a one-time deal. They will continue to promote and put out things. We will continue to put their things out, their links, their information about Georgia, things that we can keep and use forever. We'll have different stories, different angles, different podcasts, different things. And again, having media people that actually come and see. That's why when Fred came, he had seen the stories about Sky Valley, and he asked me, I want to go to Sky Valley, you know, so that's what you want. You want these media people.
So can I interrupt?
Yes, ma'am.
Is there some way we can capture some of these articles and photographs and what they're saying about Sky Valley for our visitor website?
Sure.
I mean,
Even quotes, if not the whole, but yeah, we could.
yeah,
definitely put links
like
to
the
them.
videos. and-
Yeah.
And articles, that would be great, since we do have a wonderful new visitor website.
No, it's a great idea, and it's certainly things that we need to do to make sure y'all have,
I'm not gonna even add a new section that just is,
Marketing or?
Media.
news releases,
I like
yeah,
that.
media
Media,
releases,
that's even better.
anything you can click on and see different things. So certainly, I mean, we've
If
done
there's
stuff
some way
like
we
that.
could get into that, the marketing data of who we're contacting, like Joe Blow did a article and his podcast reaches 500,000 people or
Yeah.
something. So that people can see in Sky Valley what marketing is all about.
Yeah, no, it shows
Yeah.
a lot of
I'm
different
pretty
things.
sure, take it done.
All right, that's good.
Doug, along those, along the same lines that, that Holly was mentioning, I have a suggestion. I wonder if there's a way that we could, Mike May's done us a lot of favors. He's done some great articles for us, but they've always been in the context of a trip that talked about 2 other golf resorts. So each resort gets like 1 photo and they talk about the golf. And I'm wondering if we would get more exposure to the wider market if we could get a 1 or 2 page article that would talk just about Sky Valley so that we would have enough pictures to really get the flavor of it. And not just the golfing, but like this weekend, this week, Paul Evans is at a music festival over in Brevard. This weekend, Debbie and I were at a wonderful play up in Highlands about the Jersey Boys, and that was a blockbuster. So we've got a cultural element up here. We've got a naturalist element up here. And I'm not sure the best way to help them write that article, but maybe we could give them some bullet points. Maybe Mike May, who knows us well, would be willing to do something like that.
Yeah, if you're finished or if you're not finished, interrupt me again. So Mike and I were talking, he's up in Indiana, so we talked on the way up there. And so he's certainly, we'd already talked about, and now we've done just articles on Sky Valley. And with this thing we did here was mainly because we wanted to get all the media attention, media people to see what we've done. So he wrote for 1 article. But we had already talked about getting a new Sky Valley article written that can be done in the same content. Don't let me forget too, we just had a whole nother magazine, do a whole nother thing on Sky Valley, but I just got it this morning, so I'll forward it to you. But
Okay.
so we're going to do a Sky Valley because Mike came back and he wanted to he did the croquet with Roberta and Ken, and stayed down here at Dillard, and then he went hiking, and I think they played golf maybe on Tuesday morning.
I was gonna say, when Mike reached out to me that he wanted to come back, he said, I know you said before we left, come back anytime. You didn't realize I was coming back next month. And I said, well, that's true, Mike, but whatever.
Yeah.
In his text, his suggestion was, I want to write an article on Sky Valley summer camp for adults.
That's awesome.
And
Oh, cool.
because we had talked about that. We called it, that's what we call it, the seasonal people, summer camp, summer camp for adults. And so this was his trip to look at more things to do in Sky Valley. Because when they were here, they did the golfing, they took the tour. But they went hiking up in Highlands. They looked at those, they ate some restaurants up there. They went to Clayton and ate. They played croquet with us twice. They came and played golf, and we did comp their golf forms so that they could play. His girlfriend said, this is the most beautiful course I've ever played in my life. And she's an avid golfer also. And they went down to Mud Creek, and she filmed a little video that said, This is my future retirement home.
Fabulous.
So she was very impressed with it also. And
So that's
so,
what we need to get out.
and I said to him, you know, when I was telling him, I said, well, we're gonna go ahead and conquer golf, you know, for that. And he said, well, I appreciate it. He said, but my goal in doing these articles is I want to give back more to you than what you're giving me. And I said, I appreciate it. You know, I love that attitude. So,
That's wonderful.
he was very positive. So they.
He is.
They did more things around here
Yeah.
Right.
that would expand the article. So it's just not about the golf course, it's about Sky Valley, the surrounding areas, and all the things you can do.
We had discussed, because Mike and I talked months in advance about different things that we want to do. And so we had discussed it. So I knew we wanted to come back up. I just didn't know he was coming back that quick, which was great, because he truly loves it up here. But as we talked, on the way up here, yes, he's putting it all together. It's gonna be,
Well, that
something
would
that's
be
gonna be
great on the
totally
website,
different.
wouldn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, so I think it's gonna,
That's great. idea.
really be something fun and enjoyable, and we'll be able to put it out. So the great thing about it is now that we got relations, which we've got relations with a lot of, we can send out one thing and they'll put it in there, just automatically. And because as you know, marketing, I mean, you can go to radio, so I've done all this stuff, radio, magazine, TV, it doesn't matter. You gotta have content. You can't just have ads, you have to have content. So all these people look for content. So having something new to tell people about Sky Valley, which is up in North Georgia, then it's, you know, just different things. So I will keep you abreast on where we are with it, when we can come out with that and go with that.
Doug, will you give them all Sharon's email and so they can contact her and send stuff directly to her?
Yeah.
She's our web mistress.
I will make sure, and I'll get, Mike handles all that stuff.
That's her new guy.
I got that. I'm not gonna say a whole lot about that.
I'll put it on. Yeah.
Let me,
And
before, are you finished, Jimbo?
I was just gonna say to Roberta that anytime these guys want to go on the Chattooga River on a raft trip or a, you know, some kind of an inflatable on the Tuckasegee River, I'd be happy to lead them on that. And if they see the waterfall trail and they said, well, don't you have anything wilder than this? Or, yeah, we got lots of trails. And I can take them on those. Some are really short, so we can do it pretty quickly.
Thank you, Jim. I appreciate that because he reached out to me wanting to know, I have not done any whitewater rafting up here. And he asked me, you know, where was the best place to go? And I reached out on Sky Valley neighborhood and got, there were two places that I got multiple recommendations on and provided those to him. So it was something he was interested in doing, but they weren't here. They came in on Sunday and left Wednesday morning. So they couldn't fit everything in, but they were very interested in doing that. And I'll remember that for the next time. And Lynn will remember that too. So if he does reach out to us again, we can tell him he has his own personal guide.
Great.
I want to see
Yeah.
that, Jimbo. Yeah, I want pictures, buddy. I want to see pictures. Hey, let me say something
Okay.
real quick, because Mike brought this up about Ms. Dillard. We've done a few things and certainly included her in this article. And since I got to meet her, Mike went down there, spent a couple of nights, had a couple of meals, and one of the girls asked her, you know, are we comping them and whatever? And she said, this is through Mike, that they have done more for us in terms of marketing mileage than we will ever do for them. And yes, they will be taken care of anytime they want to, but they do a fantastic job. And so that was nice to hear from Ms. Dillard. So,
That's why
and she
everything
understood. Now, Mike, which smart enough to know, Doug's smart enough to know to give Mike stuff to give away. So Bridgestone, as you know, is our sponsor. So I had given Mike some balls and hats and stuff like that. So this Dillard's grandson plays. And so Mike gave her some golf balls and a hat, and so she loved that. So I'm gonna tell that to Bridgestone and, you know, just kind of flip it all around.
Wait, while you're on that.
Oh,
I
okay.
forgot- I forgot.
Oh, okay, you gotta forget, okay.
It jogs my memory.
All right.
Mike also gave us balls, hat,
Oh, yeah,
and a jacket, and told Ken, because we had talked about Sid Weber, please put this in your auction and sell them for me,
cool.
make money,
That's cool.
so.
yeah, I had forgotten about that too. And I didn't know, because I
Great.
just had given Howard, y'all had a big tournament up here on the
Yes.
8th or
Yeah.
7th or whatever.
The wrinkle.
So I think I brought him that day, I guess, maybe.
Yeah.
And took them over to Steve, golf balls for everybody and hats and different things like that, so. All right, because of just how we do, and it just works tremendously. East Southern Golf, which is out of Florida over the southeast, and it's, you can kind of see the little thing, and like I said, I'll send it to you. So that's just their picture, but it's a story. Basically, it's a different story, but it's the, you know, same type thing. And this is somebody different. This is, you know, just one of our media partners, but they picked up on it. They didn't come to the trip. I could have invited him on the trip, but he, you know, they didn't come. But here he is putting this stuff in there. So this is fantastic. This is how it just multiplies and goes from there. So great. You know, and now this is cost, you know, you pay me, and Doug paid to do a lot of, I pay for airline tickets and some food and things like that. And so I was saying something to my wife, and she said, well, is it, you know, cost efficient? I said, absolutely, you know, for what we can do, you know, I said, and, you know, so we try to do it, you know, certainly helps when people like y'all, you know, and Bill and, you know, help pick up stuff like that, but there are still things that we have to pay for, like Joey Droves, we had to pay his mileage, so that was as much as the airline ticket, you know, so down to Mobile and back. Anyway, so very, very, very beneficial. So what we're gonna probably do, try the rest of the year is kind of what we've done, is try to maybe get some onesie twosies to come over here and work on that and see you guys like we've done before.
Doug, what about real estate and housing?
Well,
I know that they took tours of some
Yes.
homes.
and so they all know that is the top priority here. I mean, it's great that we can go whitewater rafting, but we
Well,
got,
I hate to bring it up, but you know, because I think our for sale housing inventory is very little, but we do have a great deal of building and so forth here.
yeah, lots. And so we went over that. And so they all
Yeah.
knew. So when we talked ahead of time of each place, I would sit down and say, okay, this is the number one priority.
Yeah.
Here's what they do, here's what they have. Oh, they got a beautiful golf course, that's great, but we gotta sell houses up here.
Yeah.
So they all know that, so we will continue to push that as well.
Because that certainly helps the club and the
Oh, yeah.
city and
That's everybody,
everybody,
certainly,
yeah.
yeah, it's great. I mean, I love getting the news. You're doing a great job on that, Sharon. To read all about that. All right, I'm rambling. I gotta keep going here. So I already talked about Mike. Continue to do quite a bit of social media. I've just gotten too big, so I've hired a little company that's gonna start doing all our social media. I already have been doing our social media over the last couple of months now. So I'm excited about that. Just gets a lot more people following and tagging and doing all these things that I just, you know, I can do, but it just takes time to do it, and you want to do it the right way. And so they do a good job. So I'm excited about that. So Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram. Still doing our email blasts. So we just send those out periodically. I mean, you know, I've sent y'all stuff that we just send out. All right, one last thing here. I have been working with a lady from, I don't know if y'all have ever heard of Defusky Island in South Carolina. It's an island that is an island, okay? You can't get to it unless you have a boat. And so it is right around the tip from Savannah. So it's right on the Georgia, South Carolina line. So I was doing work with a lady who's trying to help build this island up. And so All of a sudden, however, I'm not sure what the details, this has been over the last few years, she has written a book. And just gotten it published, and the publisher is so enthused with this. They want her to write a series, and it's mysteries. And it's about the Fusky Island, even though it's a different name. And so it's called The Island Mysteries. And she's from Buckhead, but they have a house down there in Defusky and working hard. So I had talked to her about maybe coming and talking to the ladies of the Georgia, Florida event in October. And I've talked to Jeff at the Georgia State Golf Association, and he thinks it's a great idea. And so what I'm trying to do is just continue to promote this event so we can do more with people in South Carolina and certainly here in Georgia. Here's just a picture of the book. It's hardback. I mean, it's gonna be out in Amazon and Barnes and Nobles in September. They already could pre-order them. That's not, her name is Laura Smith. That's her pen name, whatever. So, but Doug endorsed it and they've got my name on the book, and so it's kind of exciting. I think the ladies will love her and what she's got to say, and just the fun things about, So as we get closer, there's another lady who's going to be involved with this program, not Jeff, who came up last year for the GSGA. Because I'm trying to get them more involved with y'all so they will do more events up here.
Doug, the club sponsors authors to come and talk about their books.
I knew that, have a book club.
And they have, come and have like a luncheon and bunches of people come.
Who, can you get somebody's name?
I was just writing it down for.
That's-
sure.
that'd be perfect.
Okay, will you?
There's one of those coming up. There's one coming up next month.
We
We
did
have like
have,
4 or 5.
we were having 3 a season, and now this year we have 1 every month. during the
Right.
season.
Oh, that's
So we
great.
have- We have 6 of them.
So I was just thinking, had forgot about that, but actually did in the clubhouse when there was a book club thing going on or whatever, but about inviting, and maybe that would work.
Maybe she can put Sky Valley people into her mysteries.
Well, maybe
I could give
so.
her some ideas.
I'm just-
Yeah, we have haunted houses supposedly a few,
So
and unique characters.
I thought it would just be a fun thing to do, that she could come. So there is a lady that helps with this event, and she's supposed to reach out to me and figure out what to do, and maybe get all the ladies here, or maybe the book club or anybody else that may want to come, because they're gonna have a couple of dinners while they're here, and probably let her talk. I'm sure she'll give out books, and I just thought it would be something, wise, and then we're gonna certainly promote it in South Carolina about Sky Valley, and hey, this is what's gonna be happening here. So that's pretty much it with me, Mr. Gordon.
Very good. What is the date on that, visit?
Thank you very much. October something.
October, the other date.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying.
The date when they're gonna have the Georgia, South Carolina Ladies Golf Event.
I'm Steve, and I'm sure it's on the GSJ website. I could just look it up and get back to you.
I think it's on our calendar, but I'd have to
And
look.
Steve would have it on his calendar for sure, so.
And of course, the number would be, I guess in this case, number would be participating if she was to speak during that time as a special.
Yeah, and it's
It's open at this time,
right. So
right?
I just thought it'd be a good idea, just a little added
Yes, I like
thing
it. Very
there.
good. Thank you, very complete report.
Oh,
Excellent
thank you,
report.
thank you, thank you.
Let's go on to the next item on the agenda. That would be the website update. Jason and Sharon?
Mistress.
Yeah.
I will forego my comments on that, Gordon, but I did want to say real quick, to echo the mayor.
Yeah.
From a housing standpoint, as there is limited availability in Reagan County, Sky Valley actually has inventory of available lots, as well as a lot of raw acreage that could be developed. In fact, with the newly paved Evergreen Road, we probably opened up about 500 acres of developable area. So, very beautiful wooded area of the city, it's right. And then another thing too, I just want to say, this is just my perspective, from somebody that grew up in South Alabama. I was up in the city yesterday with the guys, it was 81 degrees. I talked to my mother from time to time, they're seeing 100 degrees every day in Alabama. I've got a dear friend of mine that lives about halfway between Seattle and Vancouver. And it's amazing, a lot of times we have conversations about how similar the weather is between Sky Valley and Snohomish, Washington, where he lives at. So I know when you talk about marketing, the cool weather up here, the mildness is such an attraction that I don't know if it's always talked about. I just want to share that, but anyway, you know, on the website side, Sharon has, if you've noticed, anybody that looks at our social media, looks at our websites, if you've noticed a tremendous improvement, it's because I'm not doing it anymore. I did the best I could do, and wanted to introduce Yulia Pavlovsky. Yulia is about halfway now in our internship. She is from Ukraine, and she has a tremendous amount of marketing, design guru stuff. And if you've noticed, if anybody has looked at this month's Sky Valley Times, that looks like a news magazine. Yulia took that and ran with it. So anyway, I'm gonna stop there with my rambling and let y'all share about everything exciting going on.
Yeah, I can. What about my report that we did featured attractions to the website with Sharon? It's about family fun for everyone. This article I also put to newsletter, Sky Valley Times. And also we created a guide for Independence Day celebration. You can take it. It has map and schedule for people. So they, we will let them know what's going on the 3rd of July. And Sky Valley Times, I just decided to add a new section. It's entertainment section for people. I didn't want make Sky Valley Times just, you know, like a report, like throw in these numbers in people's faces. So I just added entertainment section. You deal with it, so welcome. And I also want to know your mind. What do you think about this? Because I made also 2 articles for this section, and the 3rd is interview. So I decided to include also interview to Sky Valley Times. If we have one interesting person, they can, I don't know, say something interesting, we can do interview. So I think it was everything I wanted to say.
Beautiful. It was beautiful.
Thank you.
Lots of compliments. We received lots of positive feedback.
Very nice.
As far as the website, we've been updating the gallery on the visit website. I think it'll be nice to put on the visit website what we were talking about with some featured media items and links that the people can obviously click on and see more and more and more different angles of Sky Valley. We've been working on several tourism articles. We had some information for activities for Mother's Day. Then we did the same for Father's Day. And then she did for the entire family. So that was trying to, because she had some things at first that were just kind of the same old, what we always have done. So then she focused more on younger families with children. So what things could be brought in to bring in, you know, not just our age crowd, but bring some younger life here. Maybe they want to be buying some houses too, or at least a second home. New content's being added all the time with events and festivals and things going on nearby. But all in all, we just keep on updating and adding information as we can.
Fantastic.
Yeah, you know how to get there? I see that. Go straight.
Thank you. Sorry for the interruption.
No problem. I think Sharon has done a fabulous job of
That's great.
keeping us abreast of what's going on in Sky Valley. I mean, it's timely. She's
Much
doing a
more
great job.
professional.
Yeah,
Very
very professional looking, and if something's going on that we all need to know as citizens, it's there. We just have to get more people to look at their computers.
Well,
or their
you know,
phones.
we get reports on that, and we are, if we send it out to, you know, 800 people, that's the people who just subscribe for the city alerts.
Right.
Normally it's around 75% who
Well, that's
actually
pretty
open
good.
it. So
That's
yeah.
pretty good, yeah.
one thing I want to add too about Sharon is that things don't always just happen Monday through Friday, 8 to 4.
No, you got that right.
And there have been times that I've had
That's
to
true.
text her, email her, call her, water leak, whatever. And she gets it up there.
She's always-
Days off,
Yeah.
she works
You're
Monday
right.
through, she
You're
works
right.
typically, Tuesday through Fridays. There's been times, never fails, something on Monday happens. And I know you're off today. Can you get that up there?
Yeah.
It's up there in
Yeah.
10 minutes. So,
True. Also, she runs our visitor center and is doing a fabulous job of that. And I think we've had a lot of good comments about our visitor center and it's being well used,
Yes.
which is good. And she has the swag, city school swag, and if you have a bunch of shirts, you can't leave today unless you did.
That's
yeah,
Funny you say that.
We had 4th of July shirts.
Yeah.
Please.
No, good. Well, I had bought a couple
Mhm.
when I was here, whenever we brought together. Got one.
Can
for a
you,
while.
can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay, good. I just didn't want you to think I was not here.
Yeah, well, okay. No, she had it on last night, so she was.
Sorry, I wanted to ask you, can we do something with Google Maps because it shows that this address is not City Hall, it's or a gallery or
Yeah.
realty.
Yeah, yeah,
I think
Yeah,
though that
that's a
would
good
be
idea.
more on our end, wouldn't it? Not
Yeah.
marketing.
yeah.
Yeah, we just need to do that. We got to change.
Yeah, but I just love it.
Who was that?
Bowl the water. And they smile when I get all those different. Power outage. Yeah, Barrett.
Did you say something, Harry?
Yes, I'm here.
We can't hear you, so it don't matter.
Well, I don't say much that's important.
Are you still at Starbucks, Harry?
Very good. Thank you for the, very good for the website update. Let's go into the Scottsdale Visitor Center update, the grand opening, we just reviewed it.
Oh, yeah, well, I put 2 words, huge success.
Yeah, I just want to, anybody that came, I was very pleased to come out. We had a food truck, the weather was perfect. We received lots of comments, very positive, a lot of impressions, and certainly, there's a lot of work to get here. I want to thank the staff. I know Karen and Monica, here, of course, all the guys that, our public works staff, they don't get enough credit. It seems like anytime something needs to be done, hey, Jerry, can you guys do this? Can y'all do that? It's not really public works job to move furniture, but it's all, a small city can do attitude, all hands on deck. And we got it done. And, to maximize the use of this facility, is being well received. We have, people coming in, use the restroom, where's this at? Where's that at? They're buying stuff, they're finding out about the city. And so we're excited. And then the old facility, the police department, we've renovated that building. So now that it's nice that the police department have their own dedicated space, that they can be more efficient. And Public Works has expanded into their area. So I'm going to get a little above and beyond, but it's all linked together. But it was great. We've been here now for a while.
I'm just typical visiting.
We haven't counted, but I would guess on an average day, we probably have 15 or so.
Oh,
Lots of people.
One thing I was thinking about is that we ought to get like a visitor's log, people can sign in and things like that. But, we had just on the side note, we had a power outage Monday, we had a free fall. And so we didn't have power at City Hall, and we're well. We had a bus load of visitors coming in about 20. And every one of them used the bathroom. And we didn't have wells, but, we were accommodating. But, I'll just stop there, but it was the fact that, but, it was just, the fact, perfect timing, they got like 15 people show up. I'm very surprised at the many people coming in today and using our kiosks, we model what we do after the full rating stuff and kiosks. And we have yes Wi-Fi here now, so that if people need to come in and, because you can't have an event cell over here. And so, we definitely have tried to create a hospitality environment here, so, this is great. And it's great to be able to have our meetings here.
Oh,
Yeah, so,
Yeah, that's nice.
yes.
And again, I want to thank Mayor's husband and Dan McAfee for what they did here with the council chambers desk and everything else, and
We also have municipal court is held in here too, which I'm sure they're appreciative of, and not having to, sit in the closet and have cold, so.
Jason, do you have any additional needs as you look at the visitor center at this time and say a wish list? Geez, I wish I had this. I love what you have.
Don't say it if you don't mean it.
I mean, just, I think it's just a work in progress. I
Okay.
mean, it's every day,
Do we have visitor bags? Are we doing that?
We're giving away the rest of the bags, as we can for people who buy new homes. And if they come in and are extremely interested and talk about the area, how much they love it, we just make a point to make sure they get the bag with the free goodies and the magnet and things.
Good.
One thing I want to do, and I know it's probably next year because I doubt it's budgeted in, but I would like to expand what we're selling. And as far as just shirts, maybe some fleece jackets or something like that, or even a sweatshirt, but just to make it a little more, versatile what we do sell.
Great.
It's just a slow process because I know merchandise wasn't necessarily budgeted in for probably the amount we've.
But you could make money.
Yes.
we are.
Yeah.
Tank tops,
Okay.
a lot of people
Okay.
some people love tank tops.
Very good.
Or even like a collar.
Thank you. Okay, next item on the agenda with the Full Raven Marketing Board meeting report, Sharon.
Yes, we did it by Zoom this time. Currently, they're in many, if I showed you the thing, they're in many media outlets, and of course, they promote the county as well as Sky Valley. But specifically, we're currently in the Spring Summer Georgia's Great Places magazine, the Atlanta Braves home game programs, and we have 2 billboards that went up. Upcoming, there were going to be in the July, August Blue Ridge Blue Ridge Country magazine. Laurel will continue with that, and July, August, North Georgia Vacation Guide. Some opportunities that are coming. They're still working on some, I guess it's marketing that is very at targeted audiences on TV, because it's like if you watch the Nature Channel, this is the kind of thing. If you're and age groups and income levels, they're trying to really hone in on that and make it more personal to people who specifically would like what we offer. The budget, they're hoping their budget will increase next year for marketing. So that's partially in the hotel motel tax situation. So next year we should be pushing out even more.
Because the whole county and all the municipalities in Raven County have gone to 8%.
Yeah.
So that helps Forward Raven. I want to thank Forward Raven also for coming to our open house of the city hall, because they came and did our official ribbon cutting, and I thought that was kind of cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got to meet all this stuff, man.
Sorry, Sharon, didn't mean to interrupt.
No, that was
I
all.
see that you reported on that AJC article, I guess, at Fort Raven. That was very interesting. Yes, very, very complete professional. Very good, thank you. I guess the next item, we need a visitor map to Blue Ridge Mountains. We run, last time this was approved, the board approved it, and Sharon just updated the ad. If y'all know what this is, essentially there's 220,000 copies made of this and distributed around over a 2-year period. And we'll have an ad, there's an ad, Sky Valley on it. There's still a lot of people like the hard copy. So
Definitely.
you based it the last time, so good.
Do we have any here in our visitor
Yes,
center?
We do have them. We are in next year's
Oh,
So
okay.
we had skipped a year for some reason. I guess in the past, we have been in it with a double ad and we'll be in next year with an ad.
Okay.
So that's being printed, so right now
Yes.
we still have these,
Mhm.
okay.
But we're using those, yes, definitely. People do appreciate them, man. I want to say one more thing about Forward Raven.
Yeah.
They just called yesterday to verify and make sure everything's right, but they sent out in their push for marketing, all of the area fireworks times and things like that. So I think that was nice too, to include us and make sure, yeah, we're on the map.
Okay, very good. And then we go into the North Georgia Vacation Guide and Mountains ad. This is the one Sharon again updated there for the summer edition. We have 3 ads, right? And that was the updated one, very nice. Now with the photos we have, she can change it around, very
Yeah.
nice. Is this come on the street yet? When is this to be published in the summer edition, you know?
The summer edition, I believe, comes out, it might be July 21st or August 7th. So
Okay.
it's coming very quickly.
Okay, right. Okay, very good.
And where is that distributed?
All visitor centers and.
All
yeah,
visitors,
yeah.
okay, thank you.
And hotels, motels, all
And
things that would have.
Some
restaurants.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go back, thank you, Sharon. Let's go into the Sky Valley marketing budget, and we talked about, Jason, you handed something up. Maybe
Yeah,
there's
if
something
anybody
you
wants a
got.
copy of this, feel free. It's, for,
What a catch.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's a good
for
catch.
the,
man,
fiscal year 2023.
I don't think it'd gone anywhere.
The Sky Valley City Council approved a budget of $19,000. All of the contributions are in now, from the club, the POA, as well as the city. So that's good. As you look at this, under certain line items, golf life, we're about halfway in the year with that. On the advertising side, you've got about $4,500 left in golf life, not quite 1,000 on the advertising. Professional services, a little bit over $1,100 on the supplies and materials, a little bit over $1,500 left. On the promotional side, you've got about $2,900 left, and then the contingency, not quite 700. So to break that into total dollars of the 19,000, a little over 7,000 has been spent. $11,759 is what we have left to work with. So what that means is, as far as we're now about 50% into the year, you would think that you would probably be about half of that 19,000, a little above that. So as far as marketing goes, you're doing pretty good on your
I
budget.
think we're
And we
online.
always have a carryover also, Jason, or not?
Last year it was spent.
It was spent,
We
okay.
pretty much every bit of it.
Yeah, we do plan to have that, that's part of the budget, to carry it over 3 grand, yeah.
I mean, then whether there is carryover in that, but yes, there is, I thought you were asking about the budget. No, there is about, a little over $15,000
Yeah.
in the checking
Okay.
account. So yeah, there is more money in the checking account, but however, yeah, but as far as the budget.
Right.
That's what we're doing a good job looking at the budget, we have a carryover, so I think, we do it, as we said, we do it.
And whatever, if you don't spend the whole 19,000, then that just stays into the checking account, just to give more fund balance
Right,
for
good,
next year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
so, just looking good, thank you very much for that, very good. Okay, we're going into the budget, Dingberg photos, video to shoot, I think essentially that contract is over with Dingberg at this point. Then we got photographs, Steve Dingberg photos and videos update to uploading to the city Google Drive. Sharon, I know lots been put on you, what's happening there in terms of,
Yulia's been working with the new, he sent the second one. We finally got that. That was my error. I think I deleted it all. But anyway, sent it back, he mailed it to us. And Yulia has been working on getting the newest ones in. I finished and she worked on the first one as well yesterday and a few days. And yesterday and this morning, I finished getting, I believe everything from the first drive is on the Google. I need to share that link again. If you didn't bookmark it, I'll share that link again with the marketing committee for people who going to use those for our marketing purposes.
So for access to it, who has access to it at this
She's
point?
gonna send you access.
Okay, she will, okay.
Well, I've already sent you access, when we first started,
Yeah.
but it was minimal. I mean, the
Right,
photos were
right.
minimal, but I'll reshare with the
That'd be
marketing
great.
committee so
I
that,
have to do the state of the city address next month, so I'll certainly
okay.
appreciate that
Okay.
to include in my PowerPoint presentation.
Very good, great, great. Is there anything we should do differently at this point? So, at this point, Sharon?
As
in
far
terms
as
of this, having all those photos and we also talk about adding on as we do. We have photographers coming in for different events. How do we put
Yes.
that in when, say, a city hires one or the club hires one?
We have
and
a,
wanna
we
put it
have a
together?
professional photographer
Yeah,
coming for July the 3rd. And he is, he's not charging, so we'll just get Jim to give you his photographs.
Yeah,
So
how do you
Yeah.
simulate
I'll upload.
that?
He'll link, she'll link them in.
Okay, great.
we'll just add to the
Yeah.
files.
Right.
And at the club in this case here, Roberta, if you want access to it, or Lynn?
Yeah, she always gives us access.
Okay,
Yeah.
right, okay, so we said, wonderful, good, so it's working then. The money we spend on, great, excellent.
I'll send that to you too.
Okay, thank you.
Can you send the link to the PLA representative? Is that Debbie Curtis or?
Grace Guess is the president of PA.
I know, but I don't know who does their website. Is it still Deb? Jim?
Yes, Debbie still
Oh,
does.
never mind.
that.
Okay, so we need to include her in that also, since they participate in financial donations to
Well,
the
and
market.
I'd also include Bruce and Paul, because they're representatives from the PLA.
Yes, everybody on this committee will get it, yeah.
Okay.
Who else donates? Did I get everybody? I did everybody. Okay. Excuse me.
Next item would be Sky Valley Independence Day celebration. And Sharon, is there anything we can do or get involved at this point? I know in terms of marketing committee, is there anything that needs to be done? Where do you go?
Well, we could always use waivers, greeters up at the gate. People, I hate to ask someone to stand there for 3 hours, 4 hours. So if we
Okay.
could switch people out at the gate as greeters and waivers and just getting coming out.
Would you
Yes,
describe what we're doing at the game?
Yeah. Well, at the gate, of course, we have our banners and our decorations and everything up. But we're also gonna have people there waving and handing out flags as people come in. And if they need to point in the direction of where to park, where to go, but mainly just welcoming people to our celebration. We're
It's the
also,
gate, the entrance.
Yes.
yes, I'm sorry, at the main entrance. I keep saying
What's the
gate.
location of this at?
Entrance, maybe.
Main entrance,
Main
I
entrance,
apologize.
that's-
Yeah. And then,
We want
Yulia
everybody
has
to have
created a-
flags so they can wave it for the parade.
a brochure guide, trifold, and it's really helpful because it has a little map of like the trail parade.
It's really
Parade
nice.
trails,
That's
yeah.
a nice little drop off. You did a good job.
Which Yulia did that.
Very nice.
She did. And we've asked for volunteers. We have very few volunteers, so that's why I need, extra help. Yulia's family is gonna be involved, and I just hate to ask them to stand there for longer, than a couple of hours. We also have several volunteers who are gonna be working with the duck race, and that's pretty much taken care of. And we have a couple of volunteers who are gonna be intermingling with the crowd and just handing out flags and greeting people as well.
Very good.
It's gonna be fun.
Yeah, fine, great, great. Looks like the weather's gonna cooperate. How do we-
I know,
I'm fixed, chance rain.
well, yesterday it was no rain.
But it looks like it's the afternoon for now, but it'll
Yeah,
change.
it could rain in the afternoon
Yeah.
after the
Yeah.
race and.
Can't do anything about it, so it doesn't matter.
We're rolling on.
Oh, let me add one more thing. At this point, we have 31 parade entries.
Did Chip Oliver?
Chip did.
Okay, so
I still haven't heard from Ken,
Yeah.
but I know he's in.
Are the tickets sold out for the barbecue?
No.
Tickets are sold out.
Oh, and somebody's
He's not
husband,
in.
somebody's husband here,
What'd you just say?
Roberta's, got us some drummers. We're going to have a drum corps
Oh,
to lead
great.
the parade. Is that
Oh,
not?
that'll be
That's
really
the
nice.
best.
Oh,
yeah.
And there were shirts
Yeah.
from here, so they'll all be wearing their
Oh,
celebratory
good.
shirts.
Wow.
So that, we're hoping we can convince that percussion director to do this every year.
We're just,
Roberta, what'd you say about the tickets?
we're just doing everything we can.
The tickets are sold
Yeah.
out.
To promote,
Oh, yeah.
promote.
Right.
Somebody was asking me today.
Oh, I love,
They sold
Yeah,
out.
we had thousands last year, so it's.
As we're sitting here, I'm watching my public work guys go back and forth.
Yeah.
When this meeting's over, I've got to go meet
I do.
the porta potty guys, the new thing installed. So, you know, everything's coming together, grass, and if you have a chance to go in the city, Doug,
We've been talking a lot about that for.
the city's, well, it's important. But-
It is important.
But
I
anyway,
haven't.
the city's looking great.
Going back to that.
I'm hoping to get 500 hot dogs and buns today. I've talked with,
Yeah.
I want to thank Chief Sigler, the volunteer fire department, they're going to cook again this year.
Yeah.
And, yeah, from looking at the weather, about 85 degrees. The thunderstorms are kind of showing the middle part of the day, because by then,
Yeah.
we should be through with all the first, what I call the first half, which is, but hopefully it will be cleared up by the fireworks that night, so.
Because last year.
Fireworks will probably start about dark, 9:45, and I'm expecting a great show.
Yes, that's good.
I like the banners they have and lots of them. This is really great. They're really communicating. I love it. Yes. Very good. Well, thank you for that report.
Can, before you leave that, can I just mention, they need to, somehow or another, I know it's hard to provide for the food and make sure you have it all sold and that type of thing. But it's sort of bad when, I even have people asking me already, and I said, I think they're sold out. It's not even the weekend and we're sold out. We need to somehow or another provide so that we can provide more
You
barbecue.
talking about Sid Weber?
Yeah, well, as
We're
a
limited.
barbecue,
We're limited. All of it's donated food. All
Right.
of it's donated.
that's why,
And
because
we
it's
set a
donated.
certain number of tickets. We oversold this year and had to go back and ask for more food. And they very generously gave us more food.
Well, they
We-
have food
we-
trucks
wait,
there?
wait, wait.
Oh,
We are
sorry.
not, no,
No.
we are
sorry.
not physically capable with volunteers and all of
Okay.
that to do more than what we do. We're
Gotcha.
limited. We
Okay.
start very early in the year selling tickets. I mean, they know
Right.
it's not like this the first year.
Right,
We sell them early. We tell everybody, get them early, get them early. We have an online
Right.
site that if they're not
Right.
here, they can go online and buy tickets.
right.
And we say 400, when they're sold, they're sold.
And it's because it's volunteer. I mean, I see
I
what
mean,
you're saying. Yeah.
we're limited.
I just wanted to know how to explain it because I come up for the summer and I just got up. And people that don't live up here and come up in June, you know, they don't start reading everything till they're coming up and they're already sold. And I said, well, I don't know, but I'll ask why it's sold. And that's why, because we don't have so many volunteers and it's donated food. And that's a good enough
And the
excuse.
city has been very gracious in not bringing food trucks to that because of the Sid Weber barbecue to provide competition.
Well, is there a way to do that though, after they sell out? Like predicting, you know, you're gonna sell out.
We didn't sell out last year. It's,
Oh, you
you know,
didn't?
it's a
I thought they
year-to-year
sold out
thing,
last year.
depending on what's going on and the number of
We
people.
can bring it up for discussion again next
Well,
year.
that's what
There
I
is-
think,
there
that's why
is-
I'm bringing it up.
There is also, the club will be selling food
Oh, they will.
on the patio. It's to go. It's not to go in the club and eat, but they will be selling
Okay.
food at the door for people that don't have tickets.
Okay, that's a
and
good something
And
to
ours
tell
is
people.
just a
Yeah.
drive-through.
Yeah,
Ours is a
yeah,
drive-through.
exactly.
Plus we have the hot dog cafe. That's-
Yeah, I know that's
that's
gonna be after the
complimentary.
parade.
We're really good
That's
with
really
those.
nice, yeah.
And there'll be a cone ice.
Is that gonna be down by the clubhouse, the hot dogs and whatnot?
It's at the pavilion, city pavilion.
At the
It's
village?
over by the pickleball.
As the parade ends, that pickleball pavilion area,
That's right. That's right.
usually the fire department will start.
That's what they did last year,
And
yeah.
they'll just,
Very
it's
nice.
just a huge kind of a cute
Yeah, it's really
conclusion
nice.
for the first part of the day and where everybody kind of goes their own way.
Yeah, people enjoyed it.
And there'll be should be a ton of ice truck and then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Roberta, I'm just curious, how many did they sell online? What percentage do you think?
They sold 60 tickets online.
Okay.
Okay.
So,
Well, and the thing, see, I didn't know to say, well, the clubhouse will be selling food too.
Mhm.
So that helps me to know what to say to people when they're asking.
just at the back door on the patio.
Yeah. Okay, it's still available though. That's great.
Okay, the next item on the agenda is the Fall Festival, just thinking about coming up. Jason, do you have any updates on it, date wise and so on?
Well, it's 21st of October, which is the third Saturday in October. We're already starting to gear up for it. It was huge last year.
Yeah.
Post-COVID, we're anticipating it to be even bigger. There's a lot of things that kind of go in concert with that, the hay bale trail, the hay rides, probably would have some food trucks there. In fact, I was talking with Yulia, her time will be up before then, but I was telling her, that it probably starts.
Release. I'm thinking
Probably Wednesday, when we come back to fifth, we're gonna start transitioning the Fall Fest. We already have a couple meetings, but,
Be smart.
it's, I'm looking forward to a new law.
We've contacted a bunch of venues like,
The
Children's Zoo and,
Yeah.
the Blue Bus, and I can't remember.
Grace, yeah, I can't think of her husband's name, but he came to see me the other day. And he told me that, they're anticipating a car show between 75 and 100 cars.
Wow.
And so I think last year they were at the back of the club will be inside, and that's probably not gonna hold that many cars, so he was wanting to know where we were gonna put 75 cars, and so, there's a lot of planning to be done, but the thing, to answer your question, Gordon, it's shaping up to be bigger than ever,
Great.
and, it rivals what we do at Independence Day.
Fantastic, I love it, the fall, and, you know, what we can do, I know we're talking, we got some money budgeted for shirts and so forth, we're still gonna be doing that, it looks like.
Oh, I'm not doing
No,
it.
that's her.
I'm not on that.
Oh, that's Ken, yeah, okay.
We did do like,
Okay.
I was gonna say, the city, we started with the Fall Fest last year, we designed, I think we used that design you did, Mayor, on the front, but though they sold extremely well, we sold out quickly, and I think our fourth shirts have done well, we still have some up to sell, but I'm sure we'll be doing a fall design, and so we will be
Yeah.
hopefully selling those
Right.
shirts, so,
I liked it last year.
and a lot, and I'm sure Sharon, has already got the wheels spinning on some fall theme stuff.
Yes, she has.
So, yeah, but to summarize.
And the hay bale trail will be
Yeah, that's,
there also.
we've got several local companies and organizations that are interested in doing the hay bale, that just is bigger and bigger every year.
Okay.
And, so, yeah, again, it's Public Works, I wanna thank those guys.
I know my wife is excited, of course, we love dogs, right? And so she's getting involved, yes, you know, we're gonna have a party, yes. So there'll be a lot going on for the pets, maybe parade, maybe whatever, so good, glad to hear that, wonderful. I think the fall is excellent time of year. Okay, let's go into is there other business at all we need to talk about? Anything else up? Very good. Again, the other would be, let's talk about the next meeting date. I projected out here, we usually try to have it the last Thursday of the month. How did July the 27th look?
I cannot attend, but that doesn't mean you all can't be, because I can watch it on Zoom. Maybe.
Participate.
I don't know. I'm gonna be
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah. Again, I'm not going to be able to attend on that date, but that's okay. You guys can go ahead and meet.
26th.
Jim cannot attend. Carrie, do you know if you'll be available?
26th.
The craft.
Whatever it is.
You're talking
The last
about
Wednesday,
Valley.
the last Wednesday of the month.
Is there a different date?
That'll be, it's in July the 3rd.
What day did you say?
The last
Didn't know.
Wednesday.
Last Wednesday.
It's the last Wednesday in
27th.
July.
26th.
I should be okay. What's the date?
Yes, that's it.
27th.
27th, Thursday
July
27th.
Lynn, will you
of
be?
July.
Yeah,
I should be.
Yeah, because we'll have our meeting the 18th, so she'll
We
be
have a
official.
quorum and Jim's not here.
Harry, Lynn, I
Harry
don't know
says
about
he was
Paul.
coming. Paul and Bruce, but Paul and Bruce
Uh-huh.
should be here, right?
Paul,
Paul
Bruce,
and
you
Bruce.
good?
Bruce, yeah.
Okay, so we have a quorum and then.
And I don't know
by that
about
time
Paul,
we'll
Paul's
then
not here.
be-
Yes.
Then you're here, so we'll have a quorum.
Yep.
Okay, great. Very good. So let's lock in the next meeting date, 26, July 27th. Okay.
In person and Zoom, or
Pardon me?
in person and in Zoom? or-
Yes. can we-
10 a.m.
Yes. I happen to like the in-person meetings.
Yeah, make sure you get your Starbucks run before you, 10 o'clock,
We
okay?
have a coffee maker here.
Very good. Thank you again, getting together. Pre-Independence Day, thank you for showing up. Great meeting, and we actually got out of here pretty good time here. Started a little late. Again, do I hear a motion to adjourn the meeting?
So moved.
Okay, is there a second? A second?
Second,
Okay, very good. All in favor? Aye.
aye.
Thank you,
Thank
everybody.
you.
Thank y'all.
Jim, tell Debbie I said, hey,
Sure will.
Debbie's my pal.
What are you gonna do?